Making headlines. The President and First Lady returns to the Maldives after a 5-day state visit to India. The Finance Minister expresses that the President's state visit to India will yield substantial benefits for the Maldivian economy. And the Foreign Minister states that the President is demonstrating transparency in foreign policy.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hello and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Utma Mahmoud. President Dr. Mohamed Moise and First Lady Sajda Mohamed returns to the Maldives this afternoon after a 5-day state visit to India from October 6th to 10th. This was President Moise's first official trip since taking office in November 2023, following an invitation from Indian President Draupadi Murmu.
During the visit, President Moise met with President Murmu, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and senior officials to strengthen the Maldives-India partnership. A key outcome was the adoption of a vision for comprehensive economic and maritime security partnership, which will guide bilateral relations across various sectors. The leaders discussed cooperation in social housing, infrastructure, agriculture, trade, healthcare and renewable energy. President Moise expressed gratitude for India's financial assistance, including the rollover of T-bills and a currency swap agreement worth $400 million. The President's itinerary included visits to Agra, Mumbai and Bangalore, where he highlighted the Maldives' tourism potential and investment opportunities at business forums. The couple also toured the Taj Mahal and engaged with Maldivian communities in New Delhi and Bangalore. First Lady Sajida visited the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India and her alma mater, St. Joseph's University. As the two nations approach the 60th anniversary of diplomatic relations next year, President Moise invited Prime Minister Modi and President Murmu to visit the Maldives. The trip concluded positively, reinforcing the commitment to mutual growth and prosperity.
President Dr. Mohamed Moise underscores the significant role mental well-being plays in building an active and productive lifestyle. In a social media post marking the World Mental Health Day, President Dr. Moise stated that good mental health and well-being contributes to half of good health. The President also emphasized the importance of mental well-being to build a productive, innovative and active lifestyle. Therefore, he urged all individuals to prioritize their mental health and well-being. Meanwhile, Vice President Hussein Mohamed Latif has declared good mental health a fundamental human right. In a post shared on social media commemorating the World Mental Health Day, Vice President Latif emphasized the importance of mental health and well-being, noting that good mental health is a basic human right. World Mental Health Day is celebrated annually on October 10th. This year's theme for the occasion is Mental Health at Work. World Health Organization (WHO) has stressed the need for urgent action to ensure work prevents a risk to mental health and protects and supports mental health at work. Finance Minister Musa Zamir expresses that President Dr. Mohamed Moise's visit to India will yield substantial benefits for the Maldivian economy. In an exclusive interview with PSM, Mr. Zamir discussed the positive outcomes of the President's trip. During his visit, the President traveled to 3 cities and conducted business forums in each location. Minister Zamir highlighted these initiatives, stating that this could be the most successful visit by a Maldivian president to India. He emphasized that alongside bilateral meetings, the business forums were pivotal in expanding trade, and the results are expected to be marked beneficial. The minister also mentioned that the government has ambitious plans to enhance the Maldives' economy, with a key focus on showcasing investment opportunities to Indian investors during the trip. Minister Zamir pointed out the visit's importance for increasing tourist numbers. He discussed the enhancements related to the Rupee card, which will greatly facilitate travel for Maldivians visiting India. Furthermore, Mr. Zamir affirmed that the government is committed to fostering strong relationships with nations worldwide, prioritizing the creation of valuable opportunities for the people of the Maldives. Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. Abdullah Khalil states that President Dr. Mohammad Muiz is demonstrating transparency in foreign policy during an exclusive interview with PSMNEWS, where he discussed the president's recent visit to India.
Minister Khalil described President Muiz's visit to India as successful, highlighting that the president engaged in discussions with the Indian government with genuine intentions. He emphasized that Indian officials will now recognize President Muiz's commitment to following through on agreements. He also reaffirmed that the relationship between the two countries is transparent and their cooperation will bring mutual benefits to the Maldives and its citizens. Additionally, Minister Khalil noted that India has always been the Maldives' closest and most supportive ally in times of need. He stressed the importance of sincerity from both nations in maintaining this relationship. He said that previous governments lost public trust due to secrecy, and President Muiz's emphasis on transparency is a key step in restoring that trust. He also said that this marks a significant shift in the country's foreign policy under the current administration. Furthermore, Minister Khalil discussed the potential impact of the vision document signed between the two nations, which aims to create opportunities for educational development, healthcare services, and training in the Maldives. He expressed confidence that the agreement will help address many challenges facing the Maldivian citizens. He also noted that the Indian government recognizes the Maldives' love for freedom and sovereignty despite the nation's small size and believes the proposals can be adjusted to better serve the interests of the citizens.
Mammati asli mage dam martiye aliko ding mage
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة والدرجة الرفيعة وبعثه مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته وارزقنا شفاعته برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
حقوقنا ليست للبيع.
And the resumption of commercial activity.
Hafta nimekan dairo tumiga mashkahuga eta kamen gagande.
Tanatang halakuram iki faharo iki gotak kitang arutan nerito.
ದುನಿಯಾಗೆ ಫೆಬ್ರವರಿಗ ಬೋಡೆತಿ ಎತ ನಿಮ್ಮುಂತಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ
लुबनान बॉर्डर आगातुगा यहूदीन गायम को फवा तफात की आबादी तक मीहु मुस्कुरांजे फवानी
तहुजीबा मुंगना दुनियागा में मालूमात इंगु मुहिम्मु ಹಫ್ತಾಗೆ ದುನಿಯೆ ಹೊಣಿಹಿರು ದುವಹುಗೆರೆ 22 ಕಡಿ ಸುಮ್ಮಿನಟುಗ PSMNEWS
Minister of Defense Mohammad Ghassan Mahmoud states that the full authority of the military will now rest with the citizens of the Maldives, free from any foreign influence. He made the statement during an exclusive interview with PSMNEWS, discussing President Dr. Mohammad Muiz's official visit to India.
Speaking to PSMNEWS, Minister Ghassan described President Muiz's visit to India as highly successful, noting that significant achievements were made as a result of his efforts. He emphasized that the president has taken no actions that would compromise the independence or sovereignty of the Maldives. He reaffirmed that the Maldives National Defense Force MNDF would continue to safeguard the nation's independence and sovereignty as desired by the citizens. He also noted that the agreements reached between the Maldives and India during the visit included provisions to enhance the Maldivian military's capabilities based on the country's needs. Additionally, Minister Ghassan highlighted that President Muiz is demonstrating his ability to collaborate with other nations under the firm policy of Maldives First. He stressed that the government aims to cooperate with friendly countries rather than depend on them. He also noted that the previous administration had opted not to renew the hydrography agreement and confirmed that no such agreement would be reinstated. He also assured that no foreign troops would be stationed in the Maldives.
Minister of Climate Change, Environment and Energy Tariq Ibrahim announces that the Maldives is seeking foreign assistance to carry out reef conservation efforts through local Maldivian companies. He made the statement while addressing the media after signing a Memorandum of Understanding (MOU) for the Maldives Resilient Reef Ecosystem and Economy for Future project.
The Maldives Reef Project, backed by the Global Fund for Coral Reefs and the Australian government, aims to secure financial support for reef conservation and other environmental initiatives in the Maldives. The MOU was signed during a ceremony at Formula City Council with the participation of Adu City Council, Formula City Council, United Nations Development Programme UNDP Maldives, and the Environment Ministry. Speaking to the media, Minister Thorik highlighted that the project will focus on two key objectives. He said that the project will allocate $129,000 each for the operationalization of the Addo and Formula nature parks. He emphasized that financial support will be extended to Maldivian startups involved in reef-related activities under the project. He also noted that the project will run for 8 years with a total grant of $10 million and private investments will also be sought to support the initiative. Meanwhile, Ambassador of Australia to the Maldives, David Jessup, said that both Australia and the Maldives face similar challenges due to climate change.
This afternoon, I'm very pleased to announce that Australia will contribute at least $5 million Australian dollars over 5 years to climate projects in Maldives. As part of that contribution, we will provide funding to the Maldives Reef Project alongside the Global Fund for Coral Reefs.
He noted that the two countries, with the help of the Global Fund for Coral Reefs, will contribute at least $3.3 million over the next 5 years to support climate change-related projects.
Ministry of Housing, Land and Urban Development announces plans to publicize the final list of recipients of the 4,000 housing units under Gather Area scheme by the end of this month. The list was initially announced by the previous administration as its tenure was coming to an end. While a total of 20,607 individuals applied for housing units under the scheme, the previous administration decided to issue the units to the 13,000 eligible applicants. However, practical works pertaining to the handover of the housing units were processed for only 4,000 housing units. Following this decision, over 7,500 individuals voiced their concerns and over 300 cases were filed to the Anti-Corruption Commission ACC. ACC informed the current Housing Ministry to address the issues related to the list and publicize a new one in February. Regarding the new list, the Housing Ministry has affirmed that the list of recipients will be published before the month's end. It, however, did not provide any further details on the changes brought to the list. The Maldives achieves a global recognition at the 10th Annual World Spa Awards, winning the coveted title of the Indian Ocean's Best Spa Destination 2024.
Maldives Marketing and Public Relations Corporation, MMPRC, stated that this prestigious award solidifies Maldives' position as a global leader in the spa and wellness industry, standing testament to the Maldives' commitment to excellence, innovation, and providing exceptional spa and wellness experiences for tourists. In addition to this remarkable award, 2 Maldivian tourism resorts were also honored across the following categories. Maldives' Best Resort Spa 2024 to Waldorf Astoria Spa Maldives in Itafushi, and Maldives' Best Wellness Retreat 2024 to Jolie Being. This year marks the 10th edition of the World Spa Awards, a platform to celebrate and reward excellence in spa and wellness tourism. The awards recognize the unique and exceptional destinations globally with votes cast by travelers. The World Spa Awards aim to inspire exceptional standards and connect spa consumers with the best in spa and wellness tourism in the world. MMPRC extended heartfelt gratitude to all visitors who have shared their experiences and voted in the World Spa Awards. It stated that the support reinforces its commitment to providing exceptional spa and wellness experiences that showcase the unparalleled beauty and tranquility of islands.
Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says that China will lift a ban on the lucrative trade in Australian lobster, ending a broader multi-billion-dollar trade war.
Beijing has banned or slapped retaliatory tariffs on almost $15 billion worth of Australian exports during years of soured ties with Canberra. The lobster trade, worth $500,000 a year, is the last major Australian export to remain under sanction, and its removal was the subject of months of Australian diplomatic efforts. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese finally declared victory after a meeting with Chinese Premier Li Xiang in Laos, saying Beijing had agreed to a timetable to resume full lobster trade by the end of this year. China introduced a de facto ban on live rock lobster in 2020 while denying the move, and a raft of other punitive tariffs were linked to the worst crisis in relations in decades. Beijing was enraged by Australia's crackdown on Chinese foreign influence operations, the decision to block tech giant Huawei from running Australia's 5G network, and a call for an investigation into the origins of the COVID-19 pandemic. Thursday's about-face comes as Beijing eyed deepening trade wars with Europe and the United States-US. Brussels and Washington have slapped punitive tariffs on China's electric vehicle exports, semiconductors, solar panels, and a range of other goods. Thursday's announcement is a notable political win for Albanese as he seeks re-election in early 2025. Many lobster producers come from Western Australia, a key battleground state. The centre-left leader has spent much of his 2+ years in office trying to insulate the vital trade relationship with China, Australia's biggest trade partner, from geopolitical headwinds. Australia is part of a loose US-led alliance that has aggressively pushed back against China's bid for primacy in the Pacific region.
The World Bank says that cash-strapped Sri Lanka's economy was recovering faster than expected, doubling the island's growth forecast to 4.4% for 2024.
Tourism and financial services had bounced back along with improvements in construction, leading to the bank's upward revision of the forecast of 2.2% made in April. The bank said that Sri Lanka's growth is expected to moderate next year to 3.5% and a slower 3.1% in 2026. The island's 4.4% growth forecast for 2024 was, however, lower than the South Asia region's 6.4% revised data of the World Bank showed. The bank cautions that Sri Lanka's recovery remained fragile and hinged on maintaining stability. It also called for completing a restructure of Sri Lanka's external debt and continuing reforms to increase medium-term growth and reduce poverty. The international lender on Monday granted a new $200 million loan to bolster economic recovery, the first foreign funding since leftist President Anura Kumara Dissanayaka won elections. Disanayak, a self-avowed Marxist, took power last month on the back of public anger over the island's 2022 economic meltdown and promising to reverse steep tax hikes. The new administration is maintaining a $2.9 billion International Monetary Fund IMF bailout, but has said it will renegotiate some of the harsh austerity measures. Sri Lanka defaulted on its external debt in 2022 after running out of foreign exchange to finance even the most essential imports, such as food, fuel, and medicines. Months of street protests against acute shortages led to the toppling of then leader Gotabaya Rajapaksa. The World Bank has previously said that the island's economic crisis had almost doubled the number of people pushed into poverty or living on less than $3.60 a day. About 13% of Sri Lanka's 22 million population lived in poverty just before the 2022 crisis.
For the first time in the history of sailing, TV viewers watching the final of the America's Cup will be able to see something no sailor has ever seen before: the wind and how strong it is in different parts of the course.
The technology called Windsight IQ uses lasers to scan the entire race course of the coast of Barcelona and then displays it on a screen in real time as a change in color to the sea. It is the first time viewers and commentators can see how the wind is behaving across the sailing course while the race is happening. The wind picture is created by 3 LiDAR systems, also known as radar rangefinders. These are positioned along the Barcelona waterfront and use pulsed laser light to scan the race course once a second, measuring the wind every 1.5 meters, approximately 5 feet, with an accuracy of less than 0.1 meter per second. That information is fused with data directly from sensors on the race yachts and buoys and predictive wind models. An American's Cup yacht simulator also crunches the Windsight IQ data to calculate the optimal routes around the course, allowing commentators and viewers to analyze the team's decision-making. Capgemini's chief engineer, Kate Williams, who led the development of Windsight IQ, said that they can also use the data to do what they call ghost boat simulations.
We can also use that data to do what we call ghost boat simulations. And this is the idea where you can say, right, given these particular wind conditions, what is the optimal thing for the sailor to do in those particular wind conditions? Should they go to the left? Should they go to the right?
America's Cup boats called AC-75s are 75 feet long, 23 meters, weigh more than 6 tons, 60,000 kg, and fly on their foils at more than 50 knots, 93 kilometers per hour in winds of 12 knots. Britain beat France, Italy, Switzerland and the USA to win the Louis Vuitton Cup last week, earning them the right to challenge the holders Emirates Team New Zealand for the world's oldest international sporting competition in the best of 7 race series, which starts on October 12th.
A London fair is seeking to reverse centuries of gender imbalance in the arts world by giving women artists their own platform.
The Women in Art Fair launched last year has opened at the Central Mall Galleries, coinciding with Frieze Week, a major contemporary art event in the British capital. Fair director Jacqueline Harvey said that with the art industry for the past couple of centuries, the prices of women's work has been less than men.
With the art industry for the past couple of centuries, it's been going on a long time, the prices of women's work has been less than men. The level of opportunity for artists to be taken up by galleries has been less than men, and that was one of the biggest things that we noticed, because I came from a gallery situation and we were being bombarded by large numbers of female artists seeking representation.
Some of the most recent data shows art by women represented only 3.3% of auction sales between 2008 and mid-2022, according to the 2022 Burns-Halperin report, which covered representation in US museums and the art market. The Women in Art Fair showcases work by around 150 artists and includes booths for galleries focusing on women or female-identifying artists, curated sections and pieces selected following an open call that received some 2,000 submissions. Chinese artist Wen Wu is among those whose work is exhibited in the fair's curated women's cycle section. She said that all the participants, particularly female artists, feel that they have a voice.
All the participants, all the female artists, I feel we have the voice. Hope this voice can be more and more strong to let the people know our role, not just we have a role, not as a maybe a daughter, wife or whatever. We are artists all. Yeah, we have a role as artists. We have this kind of a creative power.
The Women in Art Fair runs until October 12th.
That's it for now. Thank you for watching. Have a pleasant day ahead. Bye-bye.